So hey everyone, for this video I want to do an anti-deadzone demonstration for Crash the Insane trilogy. You can ignore this central dead zone right here, but by default the Insane trilogy uses a rather large kind of clover-shaped dead zone. This is kind of consistent now how it was in the original games apparently. This dead zone is just larger in size, so you have to see that once I pass through this dead zone, you start walking. Now as you see that there's this shaded threshold, and that's indicating the run threshold. And as you can see, the walk threshold is just, or the walk range is just very short. Most of the stick is just either running or dead zone, so that makes it so walking is pretty difficult if you want to walk for whatever reason. And as you can see, because of the clover shape, you can move the stick here to walk, but if you move the same distance here, you can almost hit the run threshold, so changing directions while walking is quite difficult. Additionally, there was a lot of restricted diagonal region. See that you have to move the stick pretty far and make a pretty obvious angle change before you start changing angles, and that's what this script aims to try to address. So here the script is active. You can kind of see that here's my input. The input's moving right now and the output is centered, but once I move outside the dead zone, the circular dead zone, it counters the game's clover shape. So you can see how it's hugging that clover shape as I'm making the circle. And then as I move the stick further, you'll see that the input surpasses the output, and what this is doing is trying to rescale this walk range into a wider range, so basically from the dead zone to the outer dead zone I've set, so that most of the stick feels like it's walking. As you can see, I can make a decent amount of stick movement with being able to walk, and then run with just the last bit of stick movement. As you can see here, that the kind of dead zone and the run threshold isn't as pinched in as the dead zone, so this isn't perfect. As you can see here, if I move the stick fully, that matches up pretty nicely, but it doesn't work too well with more cardinal angles. It's a little difficult to see because I'm also restricting or jumping over the restricted diagonal movement, so this is trying to make it feel like you have full diagonal movement. And if you walk, you can kind of see that it's trying to skip over those regions. And what these settings are just trying to do is make it seem more like you're using a circular dead zone, so you start moving, and a much smaller dead zone. I'm using 20% dead zone right here. Much smaller circular dead zone. You have a much wider walk range, and you have full diagonal movement. Of course, this is very specific to these type of levels for bonus stages and certain kind of like 2D hybrid levels like Generator Room and Road to Ruin. Those have much heavier restricted diagonal movement and different dead zones where these exact settings won't work perfectly well. So, but as far as this is just trying to show what this would look like if it had circular dead zones and full diagonal movement. It's not perfect, but hopefully that gets the idea across. But that about covers it, so thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your day.